Happy World Cup, all. By the time you read this, the 2018 tournament will have kicked off with the nailed-on barnburner that is Russia-Saudi Arabia. Come on, prove me wrong. Please? Starting on Friday, however, we'll be treated to daily marathons of football featuring goals. Seriously? Russia-Saudi Arabia, come and get me, and more than a dozen, 14, to be exact, players last seen plying their trade for FC Barcelona's double-winning side, at least one of whom, you'd figure, will be kissing the trophy on July. Let's run through the 2018 World Cup's Barca contingent. Lionel Messi, Argentina. We know the deal at this point. 3 consecutive international finals. The heartbreak of defeat in 3 consecutive international finals. Retirement, and subsequent unretirement, from the national team. And, let's face it, Cristiano lifting a major trophy in the meantime probably doesn't help. Let's establish some facts. Lionel Messi is probably the greatest footballer of all time. This Argentina side is a talented, but deeply flawed one that is unlikely to win the World Cup. Virtually nothing that unfolds over the next month will change either of these facts. You know, unless Messi goes full Maradona and deletes, probably, from that earlier sentence. The perception among many in Argentina, given his gobsmacking last decade plus with Barcelona, is that Messi's somehow disappointed with La Albiceleste. For starters, few people have ever done anything as well as Lionel Messi has played for Barcelona. That his performances for country have not measured up to his performances for club, on some level, is just down to simple math. Beyond that, keep in mind that it is largely by the grace of Messi that Argentina was even in Rio 4 years ago, within 8 minutes of a penalty shootout for the biggest prize in sports. Beyond even that, recall that, were it not for Messi's heroics in Ecuador in October, this iteration of Argentina, hardly bereft of talent, featuring the likes of Sergio Aguero, Gonzalo Higuain, Paulo Dybala and Angel Di Maria, might not even have the opportunity to fall short again in Russia. Bemoan Messi's disappointments, if you'd like, but at least acknowledge that his efforts provide the opportunity to dream in the first place. Spain. Andres Iniesta, Gerard Piqué, Sergio Busquets, the staple of any great heist movie, one last job. The insanity of the whole firing the coach the day before the tournament kicks off thing aside, Spain's 2018 World Cup will be remembered as the swan song for the most accomplished international generation of our lifetime. The exodus began with the exits of Carles Puyol, Xavi, David Villa and Iker Casillas, but the presence of this trio of Barca icons and, Sergio Ramos, kept us from having to squint too hard to recall past glories. Over the past few weeks, with great reason, a good bit of attention has been focused on Andres Iniesta's Barcelona farewell, but let's take a moment to appreciate, one more time, because, let's face it, Brazil 2014 made it tough, the core of La Roja's incredible 2008-2012 treble. Singing the praises of Sevilla's own red card magnet is a job for someone else, but this Barca contingent includes one of the best and most decorated defenders of his era. And 2 midfielders about whom the same can be said, one of whom has an extra-time World Cup winning goal on his CV, and has a legitimate best-ever case. These 3 are cornerstones of some of the best sides, club or country, in the history of the game. Let's remember to take note. Oh, I almost forgot. Lest you think this is just some teary farewell tour, Iniesta's 11, also have a genuine shot at winning this thing. Jordi Alba, I can only imagine the merciless abuse that's directed at Senior Alba around Camp Nou, as the only current member of La Roja with only a single international winner's medal. And it's not even from the World Cup. Why even bother? It's presumably even worse on the days that Iniesta, Piqué and Busquets invite Xavi and Puyol over for coffee. Poor Jordi. On the bright side, few players are more likely to feel completely at home at this tournament, as Alba will be sharing a backline with Piqué, just behind Iniesta, with Busquets nearby. I mean, it's not like Messi is that big of a miss, right? Brazil. Paulino, Felipe Coutinho, the 2 signings of the season. Though his performance waned down the stretch, Paulino was vital to a number of invaluable early-season goals, and provided much-needed strength in midfield. Coutinho, meanwhile, at long last joined the club in January, and contributed an impressive 10 goals in roughly half a season, while also displaying a gift for not only taking over a game, but doing so while seamlessly adapting to the Barcelona system. The duo will now take to the middle of the pitch in Russia with the Selecao, facilitating an attack that features, among so many others, Neymar, Gabriel Jesus, on the side that, in this man's opinion, will raise the cup when all is said and done. Luis Suarez, Uruguay, and the beat goes on. Luis Suarez, scorer of 51 goals in 98 international matches, and 5 in 10 World Cup matches, every one of them meaningful to the result, will once again spearhead Uruguay's attack alongside Edinson Cavani, as he did with Diego Forlán before him, and help La Celeste advance, cruise, probably, through the group. All that's left is figuring out the mark that Luisito will leave on this particular tournament. The goal line handball 2010, gnawing on Giorgio Chiellini in 2014. France Samuel Umtiti's combination of strength, skill and intelligence should keep him among the world's best for quite a while. Not a single euro that went into keeping this man at Camp Nou for the foreseeable future was misspent. Umtiti is as vital to Barcelona's success as anyone not named Lionel Messi. The story is not dramatically different on the international scene, on a French side that should, theoretically, have no problem finding the net early and often. Alongside a wide defense that is the squad's biggest question mark, Umtiti and Madrid's Rafael Varane, as good a central defense pairing as there is in this tournament, are tasked, along with Tottenham keeper Hugo Lloris, with keeping easy victories from devolving into nerve-wracking shootouts. Ousmane Dembele, one of the highest variance players in this tournament. There's a case to be made that Dembele, coming off of a trying and injury-plagued debut season with Barcelona, gets lost in a sea of attacking options that includes, brace yourself, Kylian Mbappé, Olivier Giroud, Antoine Griezmann, Paul Pogba, Nabil Fekir, Thomas Lemar and Florian Thauvin, loses confidence, either his own, or that of his coach, and fails to leave a mark on the tournament. Conversely, a healthy and confident Dembele, who spectacularly capped off a victory over Italy in a recent tune-up, could very well be a revelation. It's not difficult to imagine him, out wide, roasting defender after defender with his incredible speed and skill, creating a boatload of chances during a deep run for France, and leaving Russia with some serious best young player in the world buzz. Marc-Andre ter Stegen, Germany, not Manuel Neuer, but not a massive downgrade, either. Neuer has been declared fit and traveled to Russia as Germany's first option in goal. Against that backdrop, Die Mannschaft will be hoping that ter Stegen spends the next month as a hilariously overqualified cheerleader. Should the injury woes re-emerge, however, the tournament's best backup will be waiting in the wings. Weird, it's not like the Germans to have things so under control. Ivan Rakitic, Croatia. Rakitic, along with Madrid's Luka Modric and Mateo Kovacic, and Inter's Ivan Perisic and Marcelo Brozovic, makes up one of the world's best midfield core, behind an attack featuring Juve's Mario Mandzukic. From the middle of the pitch forward, Croatia can hang with anyone in the world, both in terms of talent and top-end experience. These guys will not be overawed by the grand stage of the World Cup, given their collective experience at the world's top clubs. Some pertinent questions do linger: conflicts at the FA level that threaten to ensnare Luka Modric, the credibility of an inexperienced coach, and, on pitch, the defense. Any or all of these could derail a team that should get past Sweden and Nigeria to the round of 16, at least. Yerry Mina, Colombia. After a brutal start to his Barca career, Mina has an opportunity to rebuild his confidence alongside Davinson Sanchez in central defense, with James Rodriguez, Radamel Falcao, Juan Cuadrado, Johnny Square, Villarreal's Carlos Bacca and Sevilla's Luis Muriel likely powering the Colombians beyond the group stage, at the very least. Thomas Vermaelen, Belgium. With as much respect as one can muster, fans of Belgium will be hoping to see as little as possible of Vermaelen. Celtic's Dedrick Boyata has already been called upon to deputise for Vincent Kompany alongside the Tottenham duo of Toby Alderweireld and Jan Vertonghen. Digging deeper into the depth chart for another oft-injured defender would be less than ideal. Enjoy the games.